The NBC television newsreel with Paul Alley, your commentator, bringing you late news pictures filmed by NBC cameramen at home and abroad.
The makers of Camel cigarettes bring the world's latest news events right into your own living room. Sit back, light up a Camel, and be an eyewitness to the happenings that made history in the last 24 hours. The Camel News Caravan presents Today's News Today, produced for Camel Cigarettes by NBC.
Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you.
This is Chet Huntley's second and last night off. I'm David Brinkley, NBC News, Washington.
And this is NBC News, the Huntley-Brinkley Report, assembled for television every weekday night by the world's largest and most comprehensive broadcast news organization, the News Department of the National Broadcasting Company.
Switzerland calling America. And here is the news.
Chet Huntley, NBC News, New York.
And David Brinkley, NBC News, Washington.
This is the NBC Nightly News, Monday, August 3rd, 1970. Brought to you by Post Cereals, the cereals that make breakfast a little bit better.
Good evening. I'm David Brinkley in Washington. John Chancellor is in New York, and he'll be along shortly.
This is NBC Nightly News with John Chancellor in New York. NBC Nightly News, Monday, October 4th, reported by John Chancellor.
Good evening on a day when nearly all the deepwater...
From Deep, reported by John Chancellor with David Brinkley's Journal.
This is NBC Nightly News, Tuesday, June 24th, with John Chancellor reporting from the NBC News Center in New York. This is NBC Nightly News, December 23rd, with John Chancellor reporting from the NBC News Center in New York.
Good evening. President-elect Carter...
This is NBC Nightly News with John Chancellor and David Brinkley. Tonight, June 17th, reported by John Chancellor from the NBC News Center in New York.
Good evening. The Carter administration...
This is NBC Nightly News with David Brinkley in Washington and John Chancellor in New York. This is NBC Nightly News with John Chancellor in New York.
Good evening.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw in New York, Roger Mudd in Washington, and commentary by John Chancellor.
Good evening. This is NBC Nightly News, reported by Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Tom Brokaw with NBC Nightly News.
An American helicopter fires on an Iranian boat in the Persian Gulf, and in this country, an uproar in pro football and baseball over free agents.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
That incredible Hawaii airliner accident, new rules for U.S. forces in the Persian Gulf, and a mass march by Christians in Washington.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
President-elect Bush and Jesse Jackson, a summit meeting of sorts, and the RJR Nabisco poker game is now approaching a showdown.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Romanian television says Ceausescu and his wife have been executed. But some Ceausescu followers continue to resist. In Panama, U.S. troops encircle Noriega but can't touch him as the Vatican Embassy provides safe haven. And the Secretary of Defense pays a Christmas visit to the GIs.
Well, I'm delighted that General Noriega has finally been run to ground.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
President Bush running hard but losing ground with the American people as families begin to add up the cost of the new budget deal.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. reporting tonight from NBC News headquarters in New York.
Unemployment is not getting any better. The new numbers are out. They're still at a 5-year high.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw, reporting tonight from NBC News headquarters in New York.
Candidates go to their basic messages in a final frantic weekend of campaigning. Good news tonight about America's blood pressure. It's getting under control. And Hollywood's big Halloween zombie casting call.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw, reporting tonight from NBC News headquarters in New York.
Good evening.
Desperate efforts to hold levees together in the flooded Midwest. And where the water recedes, it leaves an awful mess.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Sitting in tonight, Stone Phillips.
Fargo is losing the fight of its life as the Great Plains flooding just keeps on coming. And it's a long way from over.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
New Year, bad weather, heavy snow and high winds roaring through the American Midwest and heading east as millions of holiday travelers get ready to head home.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Substituting tonight, Brian Williams.
Critical condition. A giant HMO decides doctors get the final say on patient care. A historic change, but who really wins?
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
David Brinkley, John Chancellor.
More troops. The U.S. to raise troop levels in Iraq by almost 12,000 as violence threatens next month's elections.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening.
John Cameron Fraser. Fred Huntley. David Brinkley, John Chancellor.
The new Iraq. Outbreaks of violence streak across the Iraqi map today. Still, President Bush insisting elections will proceed on schedule.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
John Cameron Fraser. Fred Huntley. David Brinkley, John Chancellor.
Tonight, an NBC News exclusive. The Pentagon is about to tell thousands more National Guard troops to get ready to go to Iraq and Afghanistan.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
On the broadcast tonight, heading home, Bill Clinton flies to North Korea, then 2 Americans held prisoner there are let go. Tonight, what we know about how it all happened.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. On our broadcast tonight, a rising death toll after that school shooting in Ohio. Tonight, chilling new details from the accused gunman making his first appearance in court.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. On our broadcast tonight, danger zone for the U.S. economy as this deadlock in Washington now threatens to pull it down. There are questions about the U.S. credit rating with just over a day to go now until the deadline.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening.
Tonight, facing the victims, the 21-year-old accused Charleston shooter in court as families of the fallen bear their grief.
I would never be able to hold her again. but I forgive you.
Extraordinary words from the heartbroken, and we learn why the gunman almost didn't go through with it.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News. Reporting tonight, Savannah.
Tonight, the flag fury explodes in South Carolina at a dramatic turn late today from the governor.
It's time to move the flag from the Capitol grounds.
This as President Obama stuns many by using the N-word in a frank discussion about racism in America.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Developing news this evening, shockwaves from that explosive confrontation.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Donald Trump, wounded by the bombshell tape revelation, brings Bill Clinton's accusers to the debate. Tonight, a civil war has ignited in the GOP. Our new poll shows Hillary Clinton surging to a double-digit lead.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Tonight, growing concern of a government shutdown. 1 day till the deadline, both sides digging in, and President Trump adding to the confusion. We'll tell you how a shutdown could impact your family, from travel plans dashed to a lot of paychecks delayed.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Breaking news tonight, the stunning verdict in the blockbuster trial involving Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The jury finding the actress defamed her ex-husband in a 2018 op-ed on domestic abuse, awarding him $15 million in damages and giving her $2 million for her countersuit. Outside the court, cheers erupting from Depp's fans. The case becoming a flashpoint across social media. Tonight, how both stars are reacting and what the jury's decision could mean for others in the future.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening.
Tonight, the desperate search in the North Atlantic for a missing submersible near the Titanic. The U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard scouring for a sub carrying 5 people. Contact lost for more than 24 hours as the tourist vessel made its way toward the Titanic. 12,000 feet down, rough seas, rain, and fog hampering the search and rescue efforts for those on board, including a billionaire businessman and explorer. Late details just in tonight.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Tonight, the disturbing new video from that attack in Colorado. The suspect accused of lighting people on fire because they supported Israel. Inside the chaos, the new video showing what appears to be the suspect's first violent moves. A throw, then smoke and chaos. What we're learning about the Egyptian national in jail on a federal hate crime charge. His planning that began more than a year ago, and the 16 unused Molotov cocktails filled with gasoline. Among the 12 victims, a Holocaust survivor. And why, according to court documents, he says he would do it again.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.